right into it.
Right.
So the story of the Skull 3, um, what I'm reading is some of that material or a large part of that material was in Eric's like possession prior to his passing and the family
Oh,
got it.
just the lyrics, the lyrics. The
Oh,
music.
okay.
Lothar and I write all the music, and we had the songs, and we had more than enough for a full record, right? And we were starting to work on it, and then Eric decided he wanted to do to do a solo record. So he took a bunch of lyrics and a couple songs we were going to do. He took with him, so we did have an album full of material, and he's like, "I'm gonna do this record first." I said, "We're gonna do our little tour, then we're gonna work on the Skull record." And basically, as you know, that tour, he never made it back. So we had the music, and I didn't want to play anymore. After all we went through, it's like there's no point. All the work we put into it, and the lyrics I thought were gone. Because I had one or two that he sent me over the course of time, and like, okay, now what do we do with all these other songs? It's like shit, man. So when we decided to start playing again and do this, I talked to the family and asked if they could access this computer, if there was possibly a way to get these lyrics that he wrote for these songs.
Yeah.
And they actually were able to get into the computer, and he had a file, the new Skull record, Skull 3 record, and had all the songs, and they happily sent it to me with their blessing. So and I'm like, okay, we could do this now. So I had the lyrics, but I had to we never got a chance to work on it with melodies or nothing or how the lyrics fit with the songs. He knew it in his head.
Yeah.
So I was like, kind of like, okay, I had to take all the lyrics and fit them all to the songs. And we ended up almost enough because he wrote extras. There was extra verses and stuff that I kind of cut out and put over here, and I had a pile of stuff that I could use, and I finished out the record. And one song I had to write the lyrics myself, which it was like the newest one. It's the newest song that actually we wrote after Eric died. Like Lothar wrote these riffs, and Henry, our drummer, wrote some stuff, and it's the song Lost Soul.
Okay.
That one was like actually like the first Legions of Doom song. So that's how I finished the words on that. So we fit it all together, and then I let Karl. He wrote vocal melodies for his songs, and Scotty wrote the vocal melodies for his songs, and it came out pretty cool, man. They channel lyrics very well, very respectful, and they did a damn good job.
That's awesome. There's no, I feel like there's no better honor for a person than to be able to create something and something so powerful, and put it out. It's like, there's honestly no better way to honor someone's memory with that. Right.
Yeah, and these guys were up for it, and they wanted to do it, and they wanted to help me finish this record, and when Karl and Scott, he said we got to keep the skull alive, so whatever it takes, then Karl's like, yeah, whatever we need to do, and they really did a great job with the words and these songs. I mean, singing, they kicked ass on this record.
Hell yeah. So how do you feel like post recording and listening to everything? Do you feel super pleased with it, or do you see areas where you're like, oh, we could have did this a little better?
That'll always be there. The
Yeah.
one where we should have done this, should this, if we had more time, more money. But no, I think this record came out almost as perfect as you can get. I mean, there's a couple little things that I wish I could have tweaked, but that, like I said, you hear that on it's like that with every record, but there's probably the least amount with this record,
Yeah.
last couple ones. So it's like I'm very pleased with the way it came out.
That's awesome. I look at it kind of like building a house, right? You can say, "Oh, I'm going to build this house and it's going to be perfect." And then when you're done, you're like, "Oh shit, I should have did this and this." And
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, because it's you're building it as you go. It's really hard to have it finalized in your head before you do it. Because like
yeah.
get in the studio, things just change and things happen, and the songs kind of breathe on their own and become something different than when you thought they were. Like this song you thought was going to be great, and this one ain't as great, and this one it's weird when you're in the studio and everybody's mojo comes out and what they add to the song. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing, man. I'm happy and blessed to be able to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're right. In the studio, it takes a life of its own. It,
Absolutely.
just like getting on stage, right? Like you're like, okay, this song is this way, and you get on stage and something changes, and you're like, shit, like that works too. That's freaking awesome.
And every crowd is different and they bring different emotions out of you. So it's like it makes every show different, which is a cool thing.
Yeah. So, like, walk me through the process of, getting everything like written and pre-recorded, doing all the pre-recording stuff with this album.
Well, right here where I'm sitting at the kitchen table is where we wrote the last probably three records. Lothar writes a bunch of riffs and records them, and so do I. And we do these three different tunings. So we'll have a whole group of this one tuning, a whole group of riffs in this tuning, and we say, okay, we're gonna work on this tuning today. What do you got? And he plays me all a bunch of stuff he has, and I play a bunch of stuff that I have, and we kind of match and see what fits together. And then we'll do like one or two that and start putting it together where it's like, okay, there's a verse, there's a chorus, and we get it to where we would present it to Wagner. We wanted to have it as complete as we could. Where we thought this is a verse and this was a chorus, when he'd always do it the opposite. Sing a chorus on that, and he'd change it around. But we'd get the main parts to him, and he would kind of fit it to the way his lyrics. He writes his lyrics. He wrote his lyrics without music,
Yeah.
which is made he wrote like poetry. Then he would put it to the songs, then fill it out. Then he'd present what he has. Then we said, okay, then we'd figure out, okay, we'll put a lead section here or an intro here or a weird part here, and then we would try to demo it out. Like Lothar has a little studio at his house, and we would demo the songs. Then Eric would sing it. But this time we tried that, but and the problem is everybody's living all over the United States, and for us to
Yeah.
get together was very difficult. So we got Karl in for a weekend, and we, demoed two songs, and it was like this started the process. Then with Scotty was a little different. We got rehearsals going, and he just likes to just go in and do it. Like here's the words, here's the music, and figure it out. And he just came in and just rocked it out live. So we had a 3-day weekend where we just played everything, and it kind of breathed from there. It went from there. So like, okay, now we got to try doing this, do this with this, and tweak it before we get in the studio. And that's usually what me and Lothar do. And me, I'm kind of almost producing it, so I had to have it all in my head before we went in, and then schedule the time and everybody, and we'd get together and hammer it out for 2 days before we go into the studio, and just go in. And
Yeah.
cool.
Seems like when you guys got together, everything kind of clicked and just
It did.
went.
Because we went, we did the basic rhythms at Steve Albini's studio here in Chicago, and the vibe of that place, this drum room was massive. The sound is crazy. Henry hits the drums too damn hard anyway, and it just made it sound like Godzilla. So the vibe of that place really helped with the rhythms and getting it to where we wanted to be with this. And but yeah, everybody just stepped up and knocked it out of the park, man.
Hell yeah. Well, it sounds like I've been through it probably twice now, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a good solid album from start to finish, and it's it's nice. I'm I'm in that I guess that weird position. I'm about to turn 50, so I remember the time when you listen to an album from start to finish and it was a solid piece of work, and it's nice to have that with Legions of Doom, right? Like,
That's how we present. That's how we look at every record we did. Like Eric had that mentality, and Lothar were like from start to finish. So we write songs like, okay, we need to write a song that would start the record. We need to write a song that would end it. And
yeah,
with that in mind, like a full record that we like. We don't like just a bunch of
filler.
songs. It sounds like a greatest hits record where just no vibe for the whole record. Where we wanted to set a mood from
Yeah,
start to finish. Hills and valleys, and bring you on a trip, like an excursion, just to get you outside your mind for a minute and come on a joyride with us, and that's how we do it and how we always will. And it's not many people have that mentality as doing a record anymore. It's just throwing a bunch of songs together, and I'll never do that. It just
yeah,
I can't. I want it like not a concept record, but I want a record, a full
yeah.
record from start to finish.
A full piece of art,
Yes,
not like
yes,
sections of it, right?
right. And that's our mentality, and that's kind of what we do and always have done. And that maybe that's why we stand out. I don't know, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say part of it, right? Because we look at, more in like the pop world, and there's not a lot of that, right? A song here that, hits and takes off, and you listen to the rest of the album and you're like, "Oh, that really sucks," you know?
Right, they
Um
just keep putting out singles, then eventually like, okay, let's throw it all together and you got a record,
yeah.
like we do it the opposite way, do a record, and also, okay, here comes a single from the record.
Yeah.
So we're old school in that way. I hope we're not dinosaurs, but it's kind of how it should be done, man.
Yeah. Well,
We're,
I
we're
think a lot more of the underground bands are like that, right? They write the music. There's the weirdest thing is there's like no pressure, there's no label pressure from them. Like you got to hurry up and churn out an album. We need an album in 6 months or any of that bullshit. So it's,
not
uh,
anymore. That's gone, which is
yeah,
nice.
yeah, it's super
We're ready to
nice.
do it. It's like basically it's like if you want to tour and play, live, it's kind of you have to do a record every couple years, but not like back then where it's like you need two records this year and one next year. It's like it's watered down. It's like, well, we'll have it when we're ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at that point, you're not phoning it in, right? You're like, oh, okay, like we're ready to actually put something together and get out there. Oh, okay, let's do it.
Absolutely,
You
man.
know. So, in your years of playing, what bands have you played with that really like stuck out to you as like, man, I never thought I'd play with them. That was really fucking awesome.
Like touring wise,
Tour, it could be just a one-off show.
oh my God, we. I mean, with Trouble, I mean, we toured with Ramones, Pantera. We played with Slayer, Danzig, King Diamond. It was always good. I mean, the Ramones was a weird one, but it
Yeah.
they loved us. Joey Ramone really loved us. He said we were probably his favorite band, one of his favorite bands, and probably the best band he ever heard. It was a couple of compliments from him was really nice.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
But
because that's completely different.
yeah, but the Pantera tours were the most amazing. That was, man, unbelievable experience hanging out with Dimebag and them. It was Phil really took care of us.
Hell yeah. I feel like he takes care of a lot of, if you go out and tour with him, he really tries to take care of all those opening bands.
Yeah, because our at the time, our manager and Rick Rubin, he didn't think it would be a good tour for us. So they were against it. Then Phil went on Headbangers Ball and pretty much, live interview said, we're going to bring Trouble on tour with us. So he made it happen.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Oh,
That it makes you feel good, right? Like someone's like, no, we're
absolutely.
definitely gonna take them on. Like, oh shit, all right,
We made it happen, so that was really cool.
hell yeah. That you got some like some funny touring stories from your years of touring that
There's a lot, but a lot of it I can't really talk about. Lot- Oh my God. Just touring Pantera, just hanging with Dimebag. Yeah. 'Cause I used to just like to get away from the band, and he knew that, and he liked to get away from his band. So it'd be the end of the night. We both got done playing, and it'd peek his head in our dressing room. It was like, "Hey, Dad, you ready?" So I'd have to, I would pack an overnight bag. So that means I never knew what was going to happen. So he'd grab me. We'd it'd be a cab or a limo waiting outside, and we just go and different cities. I mean, we went to like from strip joints. I remember the snowstorm. In the limo, he's making the guy throwing 20s at him, making him do donuts in the parking lot. It's hilarious. Before we even got in the strip joint, I'm like, dude, man. And another time we're in New York, pull up this little jazz club and walked in and ended up jamming with the band. We different cities. There's a rock show. We'd show up and end up jamming with the band. But yeah, it was always something strange. I never knew what I was going to get into. That ended up, passing out on their tour bus and then get me a hotel room, which was I loved it. Got away from my guys and but it was always I missed that guy, man. He his life was ended way too short.
yeah. I feel like everyone who is any part of his circle, right, at anywhere had
Yeah.
that, has that feeling, with him because he just seems like a really I'd never met him, but he seems like really authentic and genuine and like we're just gonna go and we're gonna have a good time. And if you're with me, like I'm gonna make sure you have a good time too.
But it's like trying to remember all these different tours, and it's like, God, it just all starts blending together. But we were in the middle of a crazy time, and like I said, I really can't name names and some of the stuff we did, but we had a really good time. Met a lot of cool people. I mean, I had no idea how many people that Trouble influenced.
Right.
Blew my mind. I mean, from Nirvana, Soundgarden, of course, Metallica. I mean, the Guns N' Roses guys loved us. Is a Vernon Reed from Living Color. Or the guitar player from oh, what the hell was that guy? Ticket to Ride. How was that dude?
Eddie Money.
Oh, Bob, Bob Mahoney. Eddie Money. But to see him, his guitar player was a Trouble fan. It was just bizarre. I remember meeting Electric Frankenstein in New York at a bar, and the guy was flipping out. And I'm like, "You're a punk band," and he's like, "But you guys are great." It's like, wow.
Yeah, but I think with music, if someone's really into music, it doesn't matter like what style. If the band or artist is good, they're just fucking good across the board, you know?
That's true. I mean, good music reaches everybody, and that's when you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
And the right people, and majority of people dig it.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's
keep
especially
going, man.
especially the people you look up to, right? You're like, "Oh man, that band's really good and they're huge or whatever." And they're like, "Oh, I fucking love you." You're like, "Huh?" What? Like, "All right. Hell yeah, that's good shit."
Dude, I mean, to me, Geezer Butler's my favorite. I mean, one of them, like Sabbath. I mean, without Sabbath, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I'm really good friends with Mike Board and Puffy from Fate No More, and he
Mhm.
was playing with Sabbath. Um, they were doing the Ozfest tours and stuff like that. And I went to see him. I was like, "Hey, you want to meet the band?" I said, I met them all, and, before. I'm a little nervous. He brought me in the room, and Sharon and Ozzy were there, talked to them really quick, and they walked out the door to Tony. But I'm like, I really wanted to sit and talk with Geezer finally. Like, okay, I get my opportunity, but I got to say something pretty clever right off the bat just to mess with them.
Yeah.
So I walked up and Mike introduced us and said, my friend Ron and this geezer. I said, "Oh, you're the dude who's been stealing my riffs." He's like, "What? Excuse me? Who are you?" Uh, it's Ron. What band? I was in a band called Trouble. He's like, "The Trouble?" I'm like, He's like, I got your guys' records. The one sounds a lot like us. The other one doesn't really sound as much. It's really good stuff. I just kind of looked at him, turned around, and walked out of the room.
You're like, holy shit. Like that's
My idol has my record and just complimented, and I couldn't handle it.
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
turned around and walked out, and I could have sat with him all night and talked, I'm sure. I was just so blown away, like the kid jamming on my bass in my bedroom to Black Sabbath, all of a sudden this guy, it was just too overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
So, Pantera was on the same show, so I walked into their dressing room. They didn't know I was there. I grabbed a bottle of whiskey, and they're like, "Dude, Ron, what are you doing here?" But yeah, I wish I could have handled that better. But I guess being humble and just it's not supposed to happen. Your idol not supposed to.
Know who you are,
Yeah,
right?
right. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just too much to handle. But so I guess an interesting moment.
That's fucking awesome though. It's awesome. He's like, "Oh yeah, I've got your shit. I really like it." Like,
Yeah, I was like, see ya.
yeah. I gotta
Like,
go
I'm a
drink
total
because
dork, man. Total dorked out. I'm like, I'm out of here.
so I'm gonna ask you since you brought up Sabbath, Ozzy or Dio?
Both, man. Both. Absolutely. Love them both. Um, it's two different things, and I was really happy when they decided to call it Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
Even though I love that record, Heaven and Hell record is amazing, and I always loved Dio's voice. He's the nicest guy in the world. I met him a bunch of times, and that's stuff was amazing. So I said I love them both equally, in
Yeah.
different times of my life. But man, that was like a really good time, Sabbath and Dio, and I'm glad when they actually got back together and did another Heaven Hell record. That record was awesome.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. Like I like them both. For me, only like I'd say in the last 5 or 10 years, I've got into like Dio era. Because I don't know, I grew up with Ozzy. Like that's all I heard. So I'm like, oh, Ozzy era. But the more I listen to Dio, I'm like, Jesus, I loved him, right? Rainbow, his solo shit. I really liked him as a frontman. And it was, both those eras of Sabbath are so completely different from each other.
The one good thing is like crank out like Sign of the Southern Cross on your stereo really loud. You're just like, whoa, it's so heavy,
Yeah.
And some of them songs that Tony was just writing some killer music at the time, and it was a great time, So yeah, you gotta love both of them, but it's separate. It's two different things, but they're both great.
Yeah.
You know? And I was
Yeah.
happy to have both of them. Happy to experience both of it.
Hell yeah. And how many bands out there can completely change their identity with a new frontman,
Right? Yeah, it's
right?
hard.
I don't think there's another band out there that's ever done that. So like,
AC/DC,
well, yeah. But the,
Iron Maiden. I'm gonna
but
keep going.
but like if we listen,
But
they kind of stay in the same vein, right? Like Iron Maiden, their music is Iron Maiden.
but
And if you don't know any different, you listen to Ozzy era Sabbath and Dio era Sabbath just on the merits alone and don't know who it is,
yeah,
you
it's
you wouldn't be able to say, "Oh, that's for sure Sabbath,"
right,
right?
right. I got you. I got you. I mean, but it's like after the guy joined Maiden, I'm like, ugh. I loved the first couple records, but
Yeah.
after that, it's like, this guy. Eh.
Yeah, it's like I like Maiden, but you're right, it's real hit and miss. You've got they have really good eras and other eras where you're like, you kind of missed the mark there a little bit, you
I was
know?
more of a Priest guy. I love Priest. That they were always good. But
Yeah. Well, what about Richie when they so I live in Louisville. When they played Louder Than Life, he had well, I think his like aorta exploded on stage.
yeah, right, yeah. I can't believe that he it all worked out. I mean, the hospital that he went to, they figured it out. They got it. Yeah, they saved his life, and You're a lucky guy, man. And
Yeah.
I said that new record he did was amazing.
Hell yeah.
Richie really stepped up, and yeah, that's a damn good record.
Yeah. They said if he was like 2 minutes later, he wouldn't have made it.
Wow, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
know it was close, but man, goodness.
Yeah. How crazy. I'm like, I heard that, he got rushed to the hospital and I'm like, holy shit, like you can't die here, dude. Please. Like,
Yeah. So
no.
it was in Louisville it happened?
Yeah, it was they were playing Louder Than Life.
Okay. It's a good town. My brother lives in Louisville.
Oh yeah, we're about
I have no idea, dude.
fair.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Near the zoo. I don't know.
Oh, okay. He's probably not too far from me then.
I guess I need to go visit him.
Yeah.
Which usually when I play, he comes out. So I know we'll be playing Louisville again.
Yeah. Do you guys have tour plans right now?
We have a few shows booked, mainly on the East Coast, like doing mainly festivals.
Desert
Right
Fest,
now, we're playing Desert Fest. We're playing Ripple Fest, and
Boston?
yeah, Austin, and playing Boston and Raleigh with a couple of bands who are playing both of them festivals. So it's like almost like a festival show.
Yeah.
So it's going good. Then we're playing a big show in Chicago, a heavy 3 day festival, heavy Chicago.
Okay.
And then we'll see. We're all getting together this weekend to rehearse for the first time since the record. So we're gonna talk about touring and talk about our future and figure out what we're gonna do. We got a
Right on.
single. Our new single's coming out tomorrow. So the press release should, I think, is tomorrow Thursday?
Yep.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow. And the press release. So the pre-sales for the record and the single, all that stuff is gonna be happening tomorrow. So it'll be a big day for us.
Yeah. Exciting.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. How do you like when the record comes out, do you have like goals or things that you hope it does?
I just hope people like it, man. That's one of them things where it's like having a baby and you want it to be the most popular kid in class, but you're happy with whatever happens,
Yeah.
Just I think people are gonna like it. I'm proud of this record. I mean, it's a damn good record, and people should dig it.
I agree. I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy it. I mean, I feel like it's just solid from start to finish. And to know, not just that it's a good, solid album, but it like, it honors Eric,
Absolutely.
you know,
It shows that we're going forward though with what we're doing, and it's definitely a little different than the Skull.
yeah,
If he wouldn't have passed away, I think this record would sound a lot different. So
yeah,
it's one of the things where you got to move forward, and I think we did in a damn good way. And for us to keep going and honor Eric as well, I think we did a good job.
I agree. I think he'd be really proud of this also.
I hope so. He's up here,
Yeah.
He'd be sitting in a room with me because he spent a lot of time in his house. So he might be keeping an eye on me, look over my shoulder.
Yeah. Wait till you hear something fall
Yep.
over.
Yeah. I'll
He's like,
blame the cat, and the cat will look at me like I didn't do it.
like, I'm in the wrong room, dude. Like, oh shit. You know, he's hiding your cocktail or something.
It's something heavy. Hang on one second. I'll
All
show you
right.
something heavy. This is this is Stinkerbell.
Tinkerbell, what's up?
Stinkerbell.
Oh,
Look
Stinkerbell. I
at
like
her on
that.
TV, kid. Look at it.
Hi,
She's
kitty.
she's a big one.
She is.
It's a tailless Manx Maine Coon, and she's
Oh,
female. So orange Maine Coon. It's so rare.
yeah.
It's without the tail. But yeah, so look at it. You're on TV, kid.
Those
It's a
Maine Coons, they get so big too.
man, furry too.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, you don't realize that you go to eat and you're like, how did I end up with cat hair in my food?
Yeah, it's everywhere. Especially like when the furry ones like that. It's in
Yeah.
the summertime they start shedding. It's everywhere.
Yeah. This is what she does.
Awesome.
About every time. She just curls up like, all right, I'm cool.
In my mind, she'll start biting my ankles and just give me treats and like and she was just sleeping on the porch. I just woke her up. She's like, what the fuck, man?
Like, don't fuck with me. I'm
Yeah,
sleeping.
exactly. Just chilling outside. It's beautiful, so she's enjoying.
Yeah. How's the weather up there right now? I know it got pretty cold in
It's
Michigan last night.
very nice. It was like got in the 50s last night. It was awesome, like
Yeah,
57. We haven't had AC on for like 4 days, so it's been good. The windows like 77 today. It's like probably around 70 now, so it's getting a little cool.
right
Perfect.
on.
I dig it. I don't like the heat, man.
Yeah. I, you know, I really like the heat. I could live in the fucking desert, 120
Wow.
degrees. I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
I hate it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go up north where it snows all the time.
Yeah, that's funny. My wife and I, we got married in the UP.
Oh,
Um,
excellent.
her,
Nice.
her parents have a house right outside of St. Ignace, and it's like, I don't know, 6 acres, a big log cabin. We got
Nice.
married,
Very cool.
yeah, July 16th of 2016, and it was 72 degrees. Like it was a perfect fucking day.
Yep. It's really wonderful up there.
What is your like, is there a club for you that you like playing or a place you like playing more than anywhere else?
Oh, not so much anymore because it's like this every city has its own vibe, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like some cities we played more than others, but it's I just enjoy playing live, you know? I don't like, it's hard to pick one over the other. It's like I enjoy like local foods, like when we go to different places, the cuisine of the
Yeah.
town, So I kind of been around so many times where I just look forward to different like foods, like in Pittsburgh, you got your Manny's and the New Orleans food and just California, it's just Texas barbecue, which I'll be having this weekend. Looking forward
Yes.
to that. So
Yeah.
even KC and St. Louis, I mean, they're all good. It's all good. I just love playing.
Yeah, and it's, you mentioned food. It's cool to see like the different flavors in the different areas,
Oh,
you know.
absolutely. Absolutely. I was hoping to go down to what's that, Muddy Roots this year, but not in the cars. I think
Yeah.
Carl's going down there, our singer. He hangs out. He likes going every year, but I just couldn't make it happen this year.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a party this year too.
Always. It's Weed Eater, I think, is playing, and it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, they'll be here I got a week from Saturday. They're here with High on Fire.
Oh, all right. Cool. Yeah. I just saw them week and a half ago in Portugal. I was on vacation.
Right
They,
on.
they rock, man. It was loud. Dudes, we had a hotel like this. It's Portugal, Sonic Blast. It's a wonderful area. It's not far. It's right kind of off the ocean.
Hmm.
So we had a hotel like about a mile away, beachfront hotel, and we just went and 10 o'clock morning. All of a sudden, I just heard this guitar. It sounded like somebody was jamming a Marshall outside my window in the street. We're talking a mile away, and Matt Pike doing the guitar check, and I'm like, woke me up. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's Matt Pike? Oh my God, at 10 in the morning. He said,
Yeah,
they're inliner, so they it's the only time they could really check.
right.
But it sounded like it was right outside my window. It was
One,
insane.
dude, they are one of the loudest shows I've ever been to.
I told him, I said, you guys woke me up, man.
Like, I'm like,
There's worse ways to get up, but that was pretty funny.
yeah, that's true. We saw him, I just saw him in May in Detroit, and my ears are still, well, I say they're still ringing from that. I go to a lot of shows, but like I was absolutely dumbfounded, and the drummer they have now, Cody, that dude hits so fucking
Yep.
hard.
It's
Like,
cool. You can see them with Weed Eater. They're playing up here with doing 3 shows in Chicago with I think Negative Approach, I do
okay.
believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Weed Eater would have been fun. But I'll probably go anyway. Just, they're my buds, so I gotta support them.
Yeah, my buddy Murphy's their TM.
Nice. All right.
Super, super good dude. And his band, I'm gonna plug his band because I absolutely love these guys. They're called Blessed Black.
Cool name.
Like they right now they're working on like a they're working on Seasons Volume 3, I think. So 1 and 2 are so powerful. And you like if you listen from the beginning of the band till now, you can see where Murphy has really like got his feet under him as a vocalist. Holy shit, dude. Just a powerful voice, and the riffs are mighty.
I'll definitely look out for it, man, for sure.
Yeah.
For
Are you
sure.
on social media?
I try not to be, but I have to be.
That's fair. Um, I'll find you on socials and send you some of his shit. It's
Please
just
do. Yeah, definitely. I
yeah,
mean, fine. That's that's for sure. I'm not.
yeah.
Yeah.
So good. What are you listening to right now that you think other people should listen to?
Early Moods,
Okay.
band out of California that is capturing the '70s Sabbath vibe, something I haven't seen before. They're amazing. They look cool and they sound great. But they're definitely up and coming and rising fast. So
Okay.
early moods.
I'm gonna have to check that out for sure.
But that's
Uh,
what was mine. I haven't usually when we're doing a record, I don't listen to anyone else. I just don't want to be influenced
right.
accident. So I don't listen to music. And when I do, I usually listen to Motown or sports radio. But
Okay.
Motown's my to go, my thing. And I haven't really started listening to anything yet. But the bands I saw at Portugal, there were some good ones, man. There's
Yeah.
one from Saint Karloff. They're really cool. I think they're from Norway. There's another kind of a doom band. They're
Okay.
really good. I don't really listen to much doom. Just happen to play it, but I
Yeah.
don't listen to it. So yeah, I try to listen to other stuff. But Early Moods is the winner right now.
There's a there's a band out of Detroit called Temple of the Fuzzwitch, and they play doom, but they play like best way to describe it is like a blackened doom. So like the music is real doomy, and you can get some like black metal riffs in there somewhere, and the vocals are real like black metal.
Excellent.
Oh, it's super good. So I was talking to one of the dudes, and I'm like, "So what do you listen to?" He's like, "I just listen to black metal. I don't fucking like doom at all. I don't want to be." I'm like, "Holy shit!" Just
Wow.
real.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
funny.
Doom, I think, comes out like the best Doom is bands who just play it without thinking about it.
Yeah,
You're trying to be a Doom band. It sounds kind of pretentious and boring.
yeah.
So
It's
I
too
think
calculated.
just play slow rock and roll, man.
Yeah,
That's what it is. Or like Vitus, slow punk.
right. But that's I think that's where the authenticity comes in is you you play what you feel, and you're not trying to there's this algorithm so we sound this way.
Right, right.
You
You
just
pigeonhole yourself when you do that. It's not good. You just need to just rock out with your soul, man. Just whatever comes out. Don't try to be something that you're not. Just be who you are and be as heavy as you can and be real, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Then you'll be
that's
all right.
that's why you've lasted as long as you have, is because what you do is really authentic. You don't try to be something you're not.
Thank you, man. I try. Just raised that way, so I'm gonna continue to be that way.
Hell yeah. Well,
Hope,
hopefully we get a lot more people that are that way, because
hope we get a couple more records out of us too. So it's
yeah,
the future ain't that dark as it seems, at least
Right.
music wise. I mean, that's if we still have a country, and after this year, who knows where we're going. But as long as music's there, we should be okay.
I think so too. We've got, we've got some really, really good fucking bands right now.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
across the board. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what the Skull 3 does for you guys. I think, it's a really good record. I think people are really going to latch on to it. And it's got such a cool fucking story behind it.
It's there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this one.
Yeah. Hell yeah, there is. Well, Ron, I know you got things to do. I don't want to keep you all night. I greatly appreciate you taking time to come and chat with me about the new album.
We will be visiting Louisville. I don't know if you still drink, but we'll have some bourbon together next time I get down there.
I might make an exception.
Like I said, I don't drink whiskey much anymore, but when I go to Louisville, usually bourbon pops up, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
or
I've
two. But my wife doesn't care for me to drink whiskey
yeah,
anymore.
I don't think mine does either. I've
Exactly.
I've got some really good bourbon, so you guys come to town, you'll we'll have some really good bourbon. So
Sounds cool, man. I'll definitely be looking forward to it, brother.
awesome, dude. Have yourself a great night.
You too. Cheers, man.
Thanks. Later, brother.